Hello, welcome to Your View. I am Murayo Afolabi Brown. As always, I have my lovely co-host here with me. Hello, ladies.
Hello.
You look very nice and pink today.
It's a pink Tuesday.
Okay.
Why you people just like to copy me? What's happening?
Okay, so how are you?
So, the doctors in Louf, they've gone on strike. What's going to happen to me too? Who is admitted them?
Oh.
That's why you shouldn't have taken the money offered him. You should have said that as you're giving me this money, shouldn't this money go to the health sector? This is the kind of money that should go to education sector.
Generally into providing infrastructure. I totally agree with you. And so some people like you are going to say that it deserves it. But until all of our leaders, politicians, House of Reps, Senators, Presidency, everybody starts to use our public infrastructure, nothing is going to change.
Yeah. Because even though we enjoyed Akwa Ibom, the beautiful world-class hospital had no doctors.
The governor who built it had an accident and flew abroad.
Okay. How you doing, Tokwe?
I'm good. Two things. I was searching for what to wear and I pulled out this trouser pre-pregnancy 2 years ago. And I wore it and it fits perfectly. My mind, I'm like, gay. So yes, I squeezed myself into the jacket. And I don't want anybody to say the jacket is tight because I just had a baby less than 3 months ago.
Trust me, you're doing fabulous. Trust me, I know. I'm still trying to wear last year's trousers, let alone 2 years ago. So trust me, you're doing good, girlfriend. How you doing, Uwa?
I'm very well, thank you. Today is Governor Ambode's birthday.
Happy birthday,
yeah.
Amber!
Yeah, so
Amber!
I heard over the radio, and I'm excited for the man. I'm just in the mood.
But he has said that we should donate everything to the cancer initiative. They said that he doesn't want anybody to bring any gifts.
No, I'm not bringing gifts. You should just tell us where the party is. I'm in the mood.
He's not doing party. Are you doing party?
He must do party.
Our governor that we know.
Please. No, our governor is hard times. He won't do party. He won't do. No.
If there's going to be a party, because birthdays are time to celebrate life.
Yes. No.
So I understand that he wants to celebrate life and would like to join you in celebrating this life.
So you want an invitation?
Yes.
Please, Governor, they don't mind them.
After the show.
No mind.
We're waiting.
But happy birthday, long
happy
life,
birthday, Governor Ambode. That's Nigerian. On
important
second thought, I would like to come to that party. You know, I'm in a groovy matter right now. So please send us an invite.
I'm not over the Akwa Ibom.
Yeah, so you can't be over
euphoria.
it.
So
something happened yesterday. You know, if you want to shop online, right now, every bank they've declined using your Naira MasterCard to shop online. I tried shopping and debit, as like they just cancelled. And I'm wondering, how do we survive? My baby's kits for the breast pump, I can't buy it here. You have to buy it on Amazon. And the only way I can shop, because I don't have a dollar card, is to use Naira card, and I can't use that anymore.
What were our mothers using in the olden days?
Using pumps.
No, I had to ask my mom. My mom said that we had mother care shops in Nigeria, in Lagos, that had everything you need. We don't have them anymore. They closed down.
Okay.
Please, this economic situation is...
I think I have some breast pumps at home. Maybe I'll send them to you.
Pump with your hand.
Pump with your hand.
that's so
like a cow.
Is she a cow that they want to milk?
Okay, let's take a quick commercial break.
That's so mean, Jumoke.
When we come back, we'll look at the front pages of the newspaper. Stay with. It's still early in the week for this laugh. It's supposed to be serious. We'll start laughing until like Thursday.
It's a happy week.
Let's take a quick break. When we come back, we'll go through the front pages of the newspaper. Right, welcome back. Let's start with Punch as usual. EFCC seizes Diezani's 3.58 billion naira Abuja home to arraign Fani Kayode, ex-minister, for 1.5 billion naira fraud. Picture here of a Plateau students' youth protest planned creation of grazing zones. We've read some of the placards here. Turn Sambisa Forest to grazing reserve. MTN fine. Reps summon AGF Shitu NCC boss. Sacked military officers indicted for corruption and misconduct, says minister. Avengers list conditions for peace talks. Over 400,000 applied for teachers' jobs within 36 hours, says presidency. Drama as sheriff takes over PDP secretariat. And federal government to assist states raise funds from capital market.
Jumoke
Okay, so
wants
these
to
are
take
grazing
that
matter.
grazing zone quickly. The Plateau youth under the ages of G17 youth, are saying to the Plateau State governor that they are not supporting him creating grazing zones in Plateau State at all. And I support them on this one. It may sound a little insensitive because we know what the issues have been with herdsmen of recent, but except they're willing to pay for the land. I can't go anywhere across Nigeria and just go and build my house now and say, because I want to create a fashion house there or an event center there, I must pay for it. This is private business. If you're going to create grazing zones, make it a business deal that, we are creating investment opportunities for you to buy land in our state where you are not going to be transgressing on other people's land, and just keep your cattle there.
Same thing for agriculture. As much as we're encouraging agriculture, we're not giving the land free, seedlings free, everything free, because we want them to grow plants. And we also want to feed the nation. So we can't give special preference to cattle.
Let me also add, because we are acquiring a huge chunk of agricultural land space, and it's been tough, trying to get your documentations and all that. I mean, we have decided it's not like you're seeing any estates there. If you go there, you will see that the agricultural work is ongoing. The government should make it easy for us to get our documents, because those are the things that you take to Bank of Industry or Bank of Agriculture or whatever to access the agricultural loan. So the same thing for these Fulani herdsmen. What they need to do is to give them, these people, their cow is not cheap. Give them what's it called, a subsidized rate for the land, and let them pay, or give them a long lease.
All right, moving on to Nation. Sheriff seizes PDP headquarters as McCarthy writes INEC. Picture here of just the police barricading the office. They didn't want him to come in, but I think eventually he got in. I'm in charge till 2018, says ex-Borno governor. Caretaker chair, I'm authentic leader. Niger Delta Avengers gives government conditions for talks. EFCC freezes 126 billion naira in 120 accounts. Right. So, Sheriff,
to quickly talk about this PDP crisis.
Yes, sir.
This disunity amongst them was the major reason they lost out in the 2015 election. So whatever it is, they should understand that right now they are the only opposition that the APC government have. So they should get their acts together and try as much as possible to put a check to this present government instead of fighting each other. So that's my advice.
When you truly want to serve, you don't force yourself on people. I remember when we had Donald Duke, on this show, and we asked him, when are you going for presidency again? And he said, is it a job? He has gone back to his private service. He now sings with, pomp and pageantry, and he's just doing what he loves. If you truly want to serve people and they say to you, no, we don't want you, you're just going to go back home.
Take a step back. Moving on, should be easy. Like, we should be that easy. Moving on to Vanguard. Retirement. Army, 38 officers in war of words. Retired officers have no case, says Defense Minister. Our retirement driven by vendetta, says retired officers. And we follow due process in all cases, says the Chief of Army Staff. Picture here of our president meeting with the Archbishop of Canterbury, Justin Welby. Hijab. Religious crisis looms in Oshun. Niger Delta Avengers now ready for dialogue, says with federal government. PDP crisis deepens as sheriff takes over party secretariat. Conglomerates, multinationals lose 320 billion in 6 months. All right, so let's talk about this hijab matter. Who read that story?
Jumoke has the story. I followed it a little bit. And what happened was that the Muslim Association in Osun State went to the court to ask the court to arbitrate on the issue of students, female students using hijab in schools. And the court said, yes, go back to school. Yeah, public schools. Go back to school and use your hijab. And then the Christian Association of Nigeria woke up and said, really?
At the Osun chapter.
Of Osun chapter. Really? Then our female students should also go to school in their robes. And so where it's seeming like a crisis is looming.
Yeah. Because they're supposed to resume school today, and they feel that both parties might have that clash. But the truth is that, I mean, in this kind of situation...
So how do you solve this problem?
As a Christian, I was shocked at the SCAN's statement, because I felt that as a Christian, the CAN is supposed to embody what Christianity is about, accommodating each other and peacefully loving each
Period.
other. So there
Period.
shouldn't have been an ultimatum from CAN's Oshu chapter
yeah.
to say that they should go in robes, because the truth is our religion as Christians doesn't,
We don't have any
uniform.
particular uniform.
And it's
because-
personal, and they should allow the kids to, because if the children are seeing us adults going back and forth on this is the lifestyle of a Muslim child. I think they should allow the child to wear their
I've
hijab.
said something before that while I was in Kaduna State, I attended a Muslim school, and I was made to cover my hair, because I mean those are the rules.
They are
So
saying
for
that
them-
they acknowledge that, and they're saying that for Muslim schools, fine, but for public schools,
Yes,
they
I
feel that
understand-
everybody
I
should
understand the part.
comply.
I understand the part of public schools.
Yes.
My point is, you see, when Christianity goes, when we start to use religion back and forth like that, it makes me worry, because tell me any Christian religion that has a particular, it's just the people that wear the white garments. Those are the only people that I see that
They have
they
their own
have their own
Yes,
uniform.
Dr.
So, I mean,
Yesterday we were talking about the importance of unifying ourselves as a country against
Religious
segregations
lines,
of
ethnic
religion
lines.
and ethnic lines. So we need to focus. Osun, as a state, the governor needs to find a way to bring those people together and agree to face Osun as one.
Moving on very quickly to Daily Sun. Avengers give seven ultimatum, governor's ultimatum. Unfold conditions for dialogue. Picture again of the youth protesting in Plateau State. Court orders EFCC to produce detained Air Force chief. PDP crisis, sheriff takes over national secretariat. Former Nigerian envoy to South Africa assassinated. Campaign funds, EFCC quizzes ex-governor Chime. Let's talk about the assassination of this.
I've been following Nigeria Delta Avengers.
I was
Can I quickly talk about this assassination? A whole
talk about the
human being.
Avengers, yes.
Okay.
Former diplomat, he was the High Commissioner of Nigeria to South Africa, and we hear that during the what's that thing when people hate other people that happened in South Africa?
the xenophobic attack.
Xenophobic attacks, that he was very outspoken against defending Nigerians. Anyway, what happened over Monday into Tuesday, 2 a.m., was that his house was broken into. His name is S.S. Yusuf. His house was broken into, and he was flung over his balcony in Abuja onto the floor outside.
3 stories.
His neighbors just woke up in the morning and found him dead on the floor. Now, his sister, Mrs. Adebisi Kuti, said nothing was taken in his house, nothing at all, meaning that they just came for him. It was an assassination.
So sad.
That's a sad story.
May he so rest in peace.
Amen, because this is one of the kind of stories you don't like to talk about.
Investigated.
Yeah. I thought that was in South Africa. I didn't know it was
No,
here.
no,
It was
he's in Nigeria, in
So-
Abuja.
Okay, so you're going to talk about the Avengers.
Yeah, let's take it in the last paper.
Yeah, our final paper this morning is this day. Niger Delta Avengers embraces dialogue, gives condition for peace. PDP crisis deepens, sheriff takes over national secretariat. Adeosun finance commissioners meet today as on fresh bailouts to states. Kachuku, Buhari will allocate oil blocks to South indigenes. Buhari backs CBN flexible forex policy, says it's down payment for success. Right, let's start with Avengers and we'll talk about Kachuku. Yes.
Now, Avengers, funny enough, the headlines contradict each other a bit, because the headline, according to Sun, is that the Avengers spokesperson, that's
same guy.
Agbinibi,
Yes.
his name is Agbinibi.
Yes.
He said that the peace committee set up by MEND is not speaking for the NDA. And so whatever negotiations they are entering with the MEND is not affecting, is not going to affect them. And they have given ultimatum to 7 states, that's Bayelsa, Anambra, Delta, Ebonyi, Enugu, Imo, and Abia states.
Yes.
These governors comply with the rules, which states clearly that they shouldn't try repairing any of the facilities that have been bombed. That if they do, there'll be more harm. And also, they mentioned the fact that
is that they'll sink the vessel. If they do try to repair any of this, they'll down the vessel. That's one. And they want them to release the pro-Biafra protesters.
I'm wondering
also.
how it has to affect because they say they must release the pro-Biafrans, and I'm wondering how the link between Avengers, Niger Delta, and the pro-Biafra.
They've what's it called?
Came last week to say that
their allegiance. They've sworn their allegiance to the
support the Biafra cause.
Theory.
Okay, but what's really interesting about this is that the fact that these guys, they said that they want there to be a conducive environment to discuss, to have that dialogue. That's the condition they're giving to the government. That let us have. So I don't know what that means. That wasn't really clear. What do you mean that sit down, let's stick together and ensure
how
that
conducive is the
how
environment?
conducive?
But
What
these oil blocks that the president says he wants to give out to the South people, how are they planning to do that?
He's saying that once the
Their thing is supposed to
expire this year.
Is it this year or next year?
Next year. So he
So
now
when they
said
renew?
that during the renewal that the president will certainly
Reallocate.
reallocate, and ensure that the what's the national character? What's that?
Federal
quota.
Character quota is applied.
Morayo, I think that
Can we
you
not
see,
give it
the-
to
any human being
individuals?
should go to the states. Also, the Niger Delta Avengers have been. It was discovered that they were breaking down equipment underwater. You know that when we're resolving the mend, they were trained as divers, internationally trained as divers. Now that skill that was impacted by the country is used to harm the country.
All right,
We can't
unfortunately,
continue with
that's
that.
all we can take on Front Page Review. When we return, we'll focus our hot topic and let's talk on cardiac arrest. Obviously, recently we've had 2 great men died because of this. So we'll discuss it at length. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Now, recently we heard about the death of former Super Eagles head coach Stephen Keshi, who died of cardiac arrest in his home. Just 3 days after, another Nigerian football icon, Amadou Shuaibu, died of high blood pressure. Now, there are speculations that the recent demise of the 2 footballers could have been avoided. Now, today we're now coming together to say, you know what, this issue of cardiac arrest and high blood pressure, how can we control it? What are your thoughts on this? You can call us on 070-80668014. You can tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourViewTVC so we can read your tweets. Now, we'll have a doctor coming in a bit later to help us how to manage our lifestyle. But before then, have you had anybody experience of somebody dying of cardiac arrest or?
Mariah, I heard a very alarming story over the weekend that in General Hospital in Bagada, I think it was on Sunday, 6 people were brought in dead on arrival, cardiac arrest. And it's majorly lifestyle that once you're over the age of 45, you must reduce your carbohydrate intake. Now, lots of us will say that I'm reducing sugar, no more taking soft drinks and fizzy drinks, but that our high carbohydrate intake, our rice, our eban, those things produce sugar in your body if you're not active.
Yeah.
So if you're eating actively, you then must exercise actively. That's the only way to stay healthy. That people die in their sleep.
Yeah, but you say it's still shocking. Like, how do you just die in your sleep? Are there symptoms and there are things that builds up to the point where you have that arrest? Shouldn't you have had signs?
No,
signs, actually.
A friend of
they
my husband wrote on Facebook that having heard about Modu Shuaibu dying after having his BP at 140 over 100, that he decided to check his BP. That I use my drugs because he's hypertensive and he's using his drugs. He just checked his BP. I realized it was 150, 105.
Jesus.
And that he realized I'm okay. I'm not feeling anything, but my BP is this high. So that means people can actually, he said he could, when they called his pharmacy and said this was what was going on, he said you could drop dead the next second.
That BP you mentioned, my husband's was higher. That day I told you, I said, in fact, the doctor was like, you're like almost like a walking corpse. I was like, I'm happy. I'm okay. There's nothing wrong with me.
So,
Mariah, we have a happy life. But it's not about that. Tell me something else stressing you out.
Interestingly, I was speaking with my husband this morning and we were talking and he said that, you see, for some reason, because we've been hearing a lot of men dying. He said, whether we like it or not, this consciousness that we have as women to want to watch our weight, to go on a diet to watch our weight,
Men don't have
it has a direct
Impact
on our heart health. Because in watching your weight, you're cutting down carbs, you're eating more vegetables. Like you saw the picture I sent of the pasta I made last night. The pasta was 100% wheat. It had lots of vegetables inside. I still cut fresh vegetables, all in the name of trying to eat
Healthy.
And when you're eating healthy, eventually it's a direct translation to your heart health.
Condition.
You're talking about, you see, a friend of, I went to Morenike's daughter's birthday, and her friend was there. She's an ardent viewer, you know, she watches our show. She was now telling me her ordeal with her husband. It was like, she said, before her eyes, you know, you just see somebody walking normal, nothing, you know, all of a sudden, it was a serious matter. He was at the point of death. That's the simple this thing. And what was it? It was linked to this kind of lifestyle. So now he has to exercise. He has to take in a lot of
let me point on that, because a lot of men especially feel that all these weight loss, these women, they're always telling yourself, you want to lose weight, you want to look good, and they don't even look at it at all. They don't even pay attention to their health, because they feel like, I'm a man now, what is it I can eat? But you see, now with these deaths, I think especially men, some women are, yeah, but especially men need to take proper attention to their health.
At a particular age, they say that what they call it again, the love handles that men have at a particular age, and they feel comfortable having it. That I'm an old man, Jerry. What's the big deal?
Evidence
now,
of
good life. Meanwhile, women, it's for aesthetics that we do dieting. I want to look good, but it impacts on your health. Now, men, because they're working okay, they forgot that in the days of our grandparents, when they ate pounded yam, breakfast, lunch, and
They
dinner,
will go to the farm.
do you know the kilometers
Trek
they would walk?
kilometers.
They would ride their bicycle carrying firewood. The women also, they were very active. Now these days we have become sedentary. We're all sitting in front of TV, holding smartphones, you know.
Yes,
You know, but aside from the dieting and all that, your husband works out crazily and he looks very fit. No love handles anywhere. So the Amodu Shuaibu might be on a little on chubby side, but he's a coach, so he's also active.
Same with Stephen Keshi was
is
also
active,
like
so
that.
there's something missing that we probably would
that
learn
missing
from the
link.
doctor when it comes to that,
Fantastic
because
point.
we need to be observant of all these things beyond eating healthy and being fit. There's something else we need to be observant of that will help us to remain healthy.
Point. All right.
Yeah, I wanted to say that a friend of mine, we actually lost him while I was in the university, you know, based on, you know, continuous complaining of chest pain. He didn't even know that there was something there. It was at the dying minute that they now found out that he actually had a tumor that blocked his lungs. Whoa. So because he's always losing breath. So a lot of times,
going to the
people,
hospital.
yes, people do not go for regular checkups because you just feel like I'm fine. Even me that I'm talking, I do not go to the hospitals.
Let me take, that thing is really bad. Even myself, when I'm sick,
All of us on the show, we are guilty.
I'm guilty.
You go to the hospital.
No, Jumoke is a
Fantastic.
I use my doctor like
Fantastic.
every month.
We need to be like you. Let me take Jeremiah. Jeremiah, are you there? Jeremiah, good morning. Are you there? Oh, I'm so sorry. That self-medication thing is
I
a
go to the
disease.
doctor every month. I get my blood
fantastic.
pressure. All that posting on Facebook to say my weight, my blood pressure, my thermometer is my
You're coming from the
temperature.
doctor.
I'm coming from the doctor. I go once every month, you know, because once you get to a certain age, you can't take things for granted anymore. And this happened, I think I even started in my 20s. There was something.
So wait, when you go, what do you do? Just say, I want to come and get checked.
Just get checked. For instance, my doctor said to lose weight and get under 70 kg and I'll be okay. And then just watch your diet after that. Several years ago, he put me on a diet of eating 5 times a day. Small meals.
I need this your doctor.
2 slices of breakfast, 2 slices of bread for breakfast, fruits. Have out of your 5 meals a day, maybe 3 of them is just fruits and vegetables.
Let me take this call from Kazim. Kazim, are you there?
Yeah.
Good morning. Please go ahead.
You didn't elaborate on the Deviani's loot when you were talking about the newspaper review. I watched it on Facebook and I felt really bad. It said the house is worth like $18 million and the furniture in it is worth like $2 million. How could someone have stolen so much money? And we are languishing in poverty in Nigeria. It needs to be dealt with.
Yeah, you're very correct because it's painful. It's painful, but let us not judge until this person has been convicted. We've seen the pictures, we've seen all the numbers. Fine, it's disheartening, but let us wait for the court. When she's convicted, then we can now start singing.
I wanted to just throw in something concerning checking ourselves up. Last week, I've been complaining of headache to my husband, and he has this BP, sugar level checking. I realized my sugar was 60-something cents after eating. As in, consistently, I have low blood sugar. That's why I have headache. So you are fighting, you don't want to take sugar because you have high blood sugar. I have low blood sugar consistently. Okay. So one must always check yourself.
Let me take Yakub. Good morning, Yakub. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm there, Morayo.
Please go ahead.
Good morning to you all.
Good morning.
Morayo, once again, let me just pray for you. God Almighty Allah will bless all of you. You know why? There's a reason for that. You see, before I started watching this program, when we started last 3 years ago, I do have some sharp pain in my chest. So you understand. But by the time you got one lady, I think so, giving all the steps of exercises. Yes. Then I pick 3 styles. I do press up and the jogging in my room. In person in my room. Not even run away as if because I don't have that time. When I wake up in the morning around 4:30 after praying, I have some signs of prayer till 5. After I finish that prayer, I start my exercise in my room. Fantastic. Do you know that sharp pain it just disappear naturally?
Hallelujah.
The kind of a style that women are living is not like yours. Because
thank you very much.
Are working for you, go and fetch food for you. That is what happened. And then when we started doing the exercises, all these studying death, I think it should be disappeared. And then one of your co-hosts, Jumoke, already said it. You have to visit your doctor regularly.
Yes. Thank you very much, Yakub, for sharing.
Just check the blood pressure.
Yes, take some tweets.
Precious Odem Oletu says, the coaches go through a lot of pressure before, during, and after games, just in a bid to win the game. 99% of coaches are at risk.
Okay.
Lawal said, I'm a Muslim, but seriously, it's wrong to wear hijab in public schools. We have Muslim, Christian, and public schools. Why break the rule? Have you read Precious? Even people who are passionate about soccer usually develop high blood pressure, let alone coaches who are at the middle of it.
That's why I stopped watching football. I don't even attempt Super Eagles. Let me read Pearl's tweet. It's not concerning this. She's just complaining that there's error loading on.
We're going to bring in a doctor to help us better understand what causes these things, their symptoms, and how we can treat it. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Now, as we're talking, cardiac arrest is a medical emergency that can lead to preventable deaths within few minutes without prompt intervention. According to reports, cardiac arrest is responsible for about 7 million deaths globally. Also, 95% of patients who go into cardiac arrest never survive it. Joining us is a medical practitioner, Dr. Oladipo Faleye. Olaya, welcome to the show, sir. Sorry about that. Welcome. Good to have you. You can call us on 070-80668014. You can tweet us at TBC Connect. Please hashtag YourViewTBC so we can read your tweets. Sir, cardiac arrest. We've lost some great men and even family loved ones to this disease, I believe. What causes cardiac arrest?
Thank you, Morayo. I was amazed when I was watching you ladies with the immense knowledge and exposure that you people even have about the disease cardiac arrest. Basically, you find out that this disease is even much more common in the Western world because of their lifestyles. People, obesity is what really predisposes to this problem. But in our own environment in Africa here, and especially in Nigeria, we have one very bad habit of, first of all, not controlling our diets. So people think that maybe because they are not big in size, they think that they don't have that, that predisposing factor to, developing this or having this problem. But that is not true. a lot of our people, let me quickly mention that, at the age of 40 and above, it is imperative that you must regularly check your cholesterol level. Because most of us in this country, we don't even have time. We have a lot of problems, social, economic, you know, that people think of how to pay school fees tomorrow. They don't even think of. The last thing they think about is even checking, burdening about their health. Some are even busy thinking about going for night vigils and going to church rather than thinking of. It's only the dead, you know, that can not praise God. They say, oh, the living is good. But that is not the truth. You are just walking around like some people walk into your clinic. They come with a blood pressure of 230, 140. I have seen many. And moreover, let me just digress a little bit. We have something we call the HMO and NHIs in this country. Unfortunately, it is not being run. It's probably the program is not run the way it should be. There is not enough, you know, campaign. There is not enough enlightenment to make people, you know, realize that you're supposed to check your blood pressure at least once, you know, in a week or once in a fortnight.
Sir.
Wow.
All right.
So 2 questions in one. So what exactly is the cause of cardiac arrest? Is it excess cholesterol? Is it high BP?
Yeah.
And then how can I be lean, thin, lepa, and have too much cholesterol in my body?
Yeah. Thank you. Now, I'll give you some basic causes of this problem.
Okay.
There is one, the coronary heart disease. The vessel that supplies the heart are the coronary vessels.
Okay.
Usually for people who have excessive cholesterol are prone to what we call atheromatous plaques. These plaques can break up and then fragments, the fragments can now either partially or totally occlude the blood vessels that supply the heart, causing what we call, ischemia. That is one. There are some people who are probably athletes or sportsmen. Let's now come back to what is bringing about this topic today.
Yeah.
The death of
Shuaibu
and Stephen Keshi.
Yeah.
I have met Shuaibu at once. I've never seen Keshi, except on the screen. You see, the problem of intense activity predisposes to what we call adrenaline hormone, which will, can trigger off, the electrical signaling activity of the heart. And these are most, common in people who already have a pre-existing, heart disease, like the hypertension. And the major cause of this is what you call ventricular fibrillation. When the heart enlarges, it now predisposes to what you call ventricular fibrillation. In advanced countries, even at the airports, you find defibrillators because they know these people they already plan, and they know that anybody can be alighting from the aircraft, and while sitting down, can just go into cardiac arrest. And the things those things are there, right there, and we have people who can manage such, equipments within seconds. Here, these are things we should focus about. For instance, Lagos State has a lot of programs that life-saving. In the units in all the general hospitals, because Lagos State government has done a lot by establishing hospitals in almost all the local government areas of this state. And there are people who have been exposed to what we call, they go for training for basic life support. And then there's, the other one that is most important is that you should have access to good health. And this is what the government is always, shouting all the time. Go to see your doctor. Don't go and see, people who are hawking drugs along the street. Those people don't know, they don't know their left from their right.
I think that's one thing we're grabbing from this, that find this, one of the key things we must do, aside from going to just know that you have to eat healthy, get a doctor, go for frequent checkups. I'm preaching to myself. I have a doctor already in my neighborhood, and I think I'll be making it a daily.
But the issue with the HMOs, the truth is that, you see, for people that are not underpaid employment, I know that there are packages for families, individual HMOs and all that. But you see, sometimes the cost,
it's crazy.
It's crazy.
I agree.
So, I mean, if we want to, I know, for instance, in England, my friend works in a company I wouldn't mention. They force them, whether they like it or not, to go check up for cervical cancer and some other thing every year as a woman. Is under law. In short, if you do not check it, there are some privileges that you don't have access to. Do you understand? So if we begin to maybe inculcate that, would it not help, to our system? Because the government has a lot also to do. It's not just providing those equipment. It's also give incentive to force people to go for those checkups.
I like to throw a question to you, sir, because one of the things that Tokwe said earlier, it's not about the eating. Shuebu and all that, they are fit. My husband is very fit. Now, the issues of stress, what part does it play in cardiac arrest and blood pressure? Because obviously some people are very healthy, they are happy.
Can we narrow the stress to the financial stress and the economic stress?
I think, let me just quickly answer your question.
Yes.
I think I listened and I tried to read the news, that Amadou Shuaibu was being owed some money.
7 months salary.
So incidentally, this man has been under pressure and probably even going to the level of depression. Because when you stay, on a particular problem, you hardly have time to probably attack or
address
the major ones that concerns your health. And I'm sure that this man would have been sitting down writing, maybe with even no light, maybe sleeping alone, probably, and there is no way somebody has an acute problem and has somebody who can rescue him or her, that the chances that you may survive may be higher than when you are lonely. And, there are a lot of things that have to be put in place in this country.
Sir,
Yeah.
Shuaibu was said to have died in his sleep. How does cardiac arrest you in your sleep while you are at total rest?
Yes, are there symptoms that helps you to know to protect yourself?
Yes, I've just mentioned the issue of that
expansion of
coronary
the
heart
heart.
disease. At the time the scenario is ongoing, there are signs and symptoms.
Okay.
Either the person becomes restless. When you look at the person, it's only a doctor can probably quickly recognize somebody who is diagnosed. That it's the oxygen delivery to the tissues that are significant. If the brain, for instance, is shut down, it is going to affect the remaining parts of the body. So there are some, let me give you some less common causes of, cardiac arrest. There is the cardiac arrest and the acute, sudden cardiac arrest. The cardiac arrest, if you have, for instance, in this cause of, say, electrocution, and there's nobody to rescue the person who's having that problem. Within a twinkling of an eye, the person is probably because the shortest distance in this world is between life and death. So drowning, trauma, or maybe when the respiratory system is shut down.
Okay, so all this also leads to cardiac arrest.
Yes, those are the predisposing
factors.
Scenarios that can cause, lead to cardiac arrest.
Interesting.
Yes. From what you were saying, the story of the lady I spoke about, she said all of a sudden the husband just felt like he was very, very hot. So they switched on the air conditioner, they switched on the, the fan, and they did everything, but he was, just restless and hot. So now, if you are in a room with someone that is about to go into cardiac arrest, what are the things you should, look out for, and how should you, we had a doctor that performed what's it called? CPR on me. So what are the things that we should look out for first and now do? Pending because Keshi died upon arrival, at the hospital. Maybe if there was something that kept his heart pumping, maybe he would not have died. Yeah, so what are the things that people should do?
Let me give you an example. Don't say that I'm being Lagos State. You look at the health system and what some people are trying to institute. Lagos State, for instance, tries as much as you have all these emergency numbers you can dial.
727.
So why is it that people cannot reinforce these things, copy this, prime state, what they are trying to do, so that the thing becomes national? It's not just going to be at Lagos micro level alone. Or they ask people, how are you doing these things? That the level I hardly hear that, I'm not saying what my sister said a few minutes ago was not true.
For Bagada Hospital,
yes, but it is very unusual for you to say prominent, person having cardiac arrest, in Lagos. I have not seen.
So is it that when you call those emergency numbers, they put you through what to do, pending when they are able to get to that?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So you are suggesting we make a call through to the emergency numbers and talk to them.
Yes.
But do you have those numbers?
We have them. 767.
Media people.
767.
767.
Yes, 767. There's 112. I'm asking if there's another one.
Both of them.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to ask a question concerning. We already explained that dieting and all that is necessary, but she mentioned the fact that cutting off carbohydrates.
Reducing
reducing carbohydrates
is the fat intake that should be that is most important. Which
the fat?
Yes, those are the ones that are precursors of cholesterol. So you should be able to know. There must be a way of getting to it. When you get to the hospital, there are ways. If you're an obese person, there are ways by which they will direct you to the dietitian. It's going to be a multidisciplinary.
Someone is asking a question. Let's take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll read your tweets and ask the doctor more questions. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Still on cardiac arrest. I think we have Biodu from Iyanokpaja. Morning.
Yes. Good morning.
How are you?
I'm a first-time caller.
Welcome to the show.
Since the session 3 years ago, this is my first time of getting through.
I'm happy for you.
Yes, I want to talk about this sudden collapse and death about the two coaches.
Yes.
So who I was saying that in abroad, people have plans for their staff and all those things. I'm a health educator with the Lagos State Ministry of Health before retirement. There was a time I had a program and I called staff to come for this health programs about taking care, checking blood pressure and other things. But to my dismay, only about 10% of the workforce came. And the reason being that if they come, they will know their health status, and of course, the following thing will be that they will be retrenched at work for their state of health. So one of the reasons why Nigerians are so scared about coming for health checkups and all those things, they are afraid that at the end of the day, it will be taken.
Very important.
They might lose their job. Thank you very much. Even though I was here at TVC last week or something, we did a health talk. Me, Murayo, I walked past them like this. They are talking kidney, how to. I don't know why we're like
what
that.
She's saying, honestly speaking, is a Nigerian thing, and their fears are valid. That's why, as you should communicate to them. You're not losing your job. Even if they find out that you are HIV positive, there should be job security. That is where laws come into place. Yeah. Because the truth is that if you tell them that if you don't get this report ready, I will hold your salary. Trust me, all of them will come.
YK on this show always says that when you say YK go for cancer screening, if I get there and I have cancer, are you going to bear the cost?
No, but it doesn't make sense.
So cost is another fear, because if you don't know and you just die. But if you know and you cannot afford to take care of yourself, what happens?
The same thing.
Femi is asking on Twitter that is cardiac arrest hereditary? Then another person is saying Precious or Letu says, why not your expert tell us what to do in case of an attack instead of asking us to call the Lagos
112.
Yeah, so calling the line is just one aspect. So what do we do?
For the major cause, inherited cause, is what we call the long QT, syndrome, which may not really mean anything to somebody who does not know much about it. And this has to do with the, electrical activity of the heart itself. So in which
let me,
case,
yes.
First
Yeah.
aid, okay.
Let me
Let's take a
pause you
call.
for you. I have
Okay.
to call. I mean, you hold it very well. Alaja Dada, are you still there? Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Sorry for keeping you. Go ahead, please.
First time caller.
No time caller.
Welcome to the show.
I want to appreciate you guys for the wonderful job you've been doing.
Thank you.
My contribution is on this Lagos State issue. We want to commend Lagos State government for their contribution on health. But just last week, my grandson, was rushed to LASUT on emergency, and they were told that he has vomited 5 times. They said there was no bed space. The boy was vomiting in their presence. They did not attend to him until he was rushed to a clinic at Ogba. So Lagos State government, what are they going to do towards that? Anybody on emergency should be attended to, even if it's on the bench, to save life. That's my contribution. Thank you.
Thank you very much,
There is
Alaja.
actually no
Yes,
bed
sir. You want to
space.
make any comments on that? Because
Well,
that happens a lot
I've
of
been
Nigerians.
there. There's no
space.
bed space.
Maybe you're going to hospital, start carrying your mattress along with you now. Because I'm saying, when you have an emergency, just carry. I have one of those where I can roll mattress. Just carry it along.
You know these inflatable mattresses.
yes.
Just carry your own.
No, I have one.
I would advise that maybe you take time once in a while to send your team on a regular basis to see the influx of patients compared with the
We have been
facility
there, sir.
existing.
We have been
So you
there.
see, if we keep on not appreciating what government is providing, then it means we will never get.
We appreciate what the government
No,
is
I'm
providing.
saying that. Well, in such circumstances, there is no 100%, system.
All right,
Let's
we
take
have
some
tweets.
So-
Otumba Michael says, please, sir, can cardiac arrest lead to stroke? Just...
It's the stroke that precludes cardiac
cardiac
arrest.
Oh, okay.
It's not the other way around.
Okay. Precious Odem Oletu says, why not your expert tell us what to do if an attack?
We took that already.
Okay.
Ugochi Onsofo says, with all the numerous World's Day, is there any called exercise day just on the lighter mode? He's also saying, sir, how can an average Nigerian carry out CPR? Can you show us how it is done?
We didn't prepare for that.
Yeah.
Actually, we would have loved to. Because we've done
Cardiopulmonary
it before.
resuscitation is the basic,
Yeah.
first line, step in
Another question.
treating cardiac
arrest.
arrest.
Alios Ekong says, doctor, please, what role does aspirin play in cardiac issues?
Yes, aspirin is we said to be an antiplatelet. It dissolves. I was trying to mention to you the clots that may block the vessels.
Yeah.
So that is just the basic function of the
Aspirin.
salicylate
So can you
aspirin.
give can you give a patient immediately?
It will not. It is delivering oxygen, arterially to the patient, oxygen-rich blood to the cardiac arrest patient. That is the first step because that's our basic life support. You need to know what are the steps to be taken.
Okay.
How to
Oluwatoyin
train-
says, some people are agbo herbs addicts. How can you be taking agbo all the time and you neglect doctors' visitations? So,
Do those herbs, do they help?
I have never been trained, on any agbo, so I will talk about what I know about. There's nothing like the advanced,
Even the woman I came to braid my hair when my
yeah,
child was
yeah.
my daughter wasn't feeling well. Auntie,
Lemongrass.
I'm just one shot. To be all right. Please. I want my husband to send me out of my house.
now the problem with agbo is when you do not know what the issue is, what are you treating?
Yes, you can't diagnose.
So that's where orthodox is the way to go. My doctor would say, don't even take any drugs.
I need to meet your doctor.
Pearl is saying how much of fasting can cause cardiac arrest? Like all these people that are fasting.
That's a
Because in Shuaibu's case, they said he saw the doctor the day before and the doctor advised him to stop fasting.
Oh, he was fasting?
Yes, he was.
He's a Muslim.
I think Shuaibu's case, if I may just reiterate, in the first instance, is a man who has had, I mentioned the intense, stress activity, which may predispose to somebody who's already having a pre-existing, high blood
condition.
pressure. Yes. There are so many other conditions, like somebody who has, there are a lot of
So
things to
can
be done.
fasting cause cardiac arrest?
Well, I think it may contribute if you are very low, what we call hypoglycemic. You go into shock, and then all of a sudden it progresses to
Unfortunately, that's all we can take on the show today. I think what we've learned today is eat right, The health department.
Exercise.
Still go and see your doctor regularly.
Yes.
And take advantage of the HMO. And the Lagos State government is doing a lot. So let's take
All
advantage
their
of it.
helplines.
All right, helplines. No, they have the 767 112. Always call if there's any
I think
any
we
issues.
should bring what's it called? Another
Lagos-
what's it called? The one we did the
Yeah,
last time.
CPR.
Yeah, demonstration. So on another day.
All right, that's all we can take on the show
Maybe we can do
today.
it next week.
Have a lovely day. Well, I was going to say something else. I just lost it.
Oh, sorry.
All right, see you tomorrow.
Happy birthday again.
Happy birthday, Governor.
Governor
Ambode.
Ambode.
We're waiting for your invitation. Amba.